friends, welcome to Math the Magnet. Math made easy. This is for all you little geniuses who need a little help with math. Remember to use this video only as a guide to help you solve your math problems after you have attempted to solve them yourselves. Let's get into today's video. Today we are going to see chapter 3 ratio from workbook for grade 6A. We shall try attempting solving the review questions and thinking cap questions today. Question number 1. The diagram shows the mass of two bags of rice x and y. This is the diagram that's shown, and here we know the mass of x is 9 and mass of y is 12. The first question is the ratio the mass of bag X to the total mass of bag X and Y in its simplest form. So let's see the total mass of bag X and Y, that will be equal to 9 plus 12, which is equal to 21. Now the ratio of mass of bag X is to mass of bag, total mass of bag X and Y will be 9 is to 21. The simplest form will be 3 is to 7. Now B, the mass of bag Y is dash the mass of bag X. So now we know bag Y is 9 and bag 9 is 12, bag Y is 12 and bag X is 9. So the mass of bag Y is, it will be 12 by 9 of the mass of bag X, but when you simplify 12 by 9 you will get it as 4 by 3. So the answer will be 4 by 3 of the mass of bag X. Same way the mass of bag X is dash of mass of bag Y will be 9 by 12, which is equal to 3 by 4. Question D, the mass of bag X is dash of the total mass of bag X and Y. Now we already calculated total mass as 21 and we know the simplified version is 7. So the mass of bag X is 3 by 7. Now question E, the mass of bag Y is total mass of bag of X and Y, which is total mass of bag X and Y we know is 21 and mass of bag Y is 12. So it will be 12 by 21 in its simplified form will be 4 by 7. Question number 2. A box contains some pens and pencils. The total number of pens and pencils is 8 by 3 of the number of pencils. A. The ratio of the number of pens and pencils to the number of pencils is, so now we know the total number of pens and pencils is 8 units and number of pencils is 3. So the ratio will be 8 is to 3. B. Draw a model to compare the number of pens and pencils. Now we know the total of pens and pencils is 8 and the number of pencils is 3. So which means number of pens will be 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5. So we will draw for pens, we will draw 5 units, for pencils 3 units. That will be your bar model. Now question number C, the ratio of the number of pens to the number of pencils is, we know pens is 5 and pencils is 3, so it will be 5 is to 3. Question number 3, Miss Heng uses 110 grams of sugar and 30 grams of milk to make some cupcakes. A, the ratio of the amount of milk used to the amount of sugar used is a question. So that will be 30 is to 110, that is milk is to sugar. So 30 grams of milk and 110 grams of sugar, so it will be 30 is to 110, which can be simplified as 3 is to 11. Now question B, to make the same type of cupcake, Miss Heng needs dash amount of sugar if she uses 675 grams of milk. Now instead of 30 grams of milk, if she uses 675 grams of milk, how much of sugar will she need? So to find that, we will see 675 divided by 3. That is, instead of in the ratio 3 is to 11, we have found in question A the ratio is 3 is to 11. Now instead of 3 is to 11, if it is instead of 3, if it is 675, how many units will be 11 be equal to? So which means 675 divided by 3, that much into 11 will give you the amount of sugar. So 675 divided by 3 is 225. So sugar is 11 units. So 11 into 225 will be 2475. So the amount of sugar Miss Heng will need is 2475 grams of sugar if she is using 675 grams of milk. Now question C. To make the same type of cupcake, Miss Heng needs dash amount of milk if she uses 1650 grams of sugar. Now here instead of 11 it is 1650. So 1650 divided by 11 equal to 150. So 150 into 3 will be, that is milk is 3 units. So 150 into 3 will be equal to 550 grams. So she will need 550 grams of milk if she is using 1650 grams of sugar. Question number 4. Kyrol's savings is 9 by 2 of Sully's savings. A. What is the ratio of Kyrol savings to Sully's savings to their total savings? B. Sully saves $28 less than Kyrol. How much do they save altogether? Now here in this bar model, Kyrol will have 9 units and Sully will have 2 units. This is as per the data given in the question. Now this differential unit 7 units will be equal to 28 because it says Sully is $28 less than Kyrol. So Kyrol minus Sully is 7 units and that 7 units is $28. Now let's see how to solve question A. We know total savings is 9 units plus 2 units will be equal to 11 units. So the ratio will be 9 is to 2 is to 11. Question B, we already know 7 units is $28. So 1 unit will be 28 divided by 7 which is equal to 4. So total number of units we know it is 11. So 11 into 4 is $44. So they both save $44 altogether. Question number 5. A hotel ballroom is decorated with tulips, roses and peonies. The ratio of the number of tulips to the number of roses in the ballroom is 2 is to 3. There are 4 times as many roses as peonies in the ballroom. There are 575 stalks of flowers in the ballroom altogether. How many tulips are there? Now we know the ratio between tulips and roses which is 2 is to 3 and we know that roses is 4 times as much as peonies. So let us put them in the form of ratio. So when we put tulips is to roses, we know it is 2 is to 3 and we know roses is to peonies is 4 is to 1 because roses is 4 times as much as peonies. Now these two ratios when we combine, we will have to multiply 2 is to 3 by 4 and 4 is to 1 by 3. So it becomes the ratio of tulips is to roses is to peonies will become 8 is to 12. That is when you multiply 2 is to 3 by 4 to make it 12. And same way 4 is to 1 we will multiply by 3 so that roses become 12. So it becomes 8 is to 12 is to 3. This will be the ratio of tulips is to roses is to peonies. Now we can say the total number of units is 8 plus 12 plus 3 is equal to 23 units and we know 23 units is 575 stalks of flowers. Now 1 unit will be 575 divided by 23 which is equal to 25. Now the question is to find how many tulips are there. We know tulips are 8 units. So 8 units 8 into 25 will be equal to 200. So there were 200 tulips in the ballroom. Let's look at question number 6. The ratio of the volume of orange juice in glass A to the volume of orange juice in glass B is 5 is to 3. Half of the orange juice in glass A is poured into glass B. What is the new ratio of the volume of orange juice in glass A to the volume of orange juice in glass B? Now we know the volume of orange juice in glass A is 5 units and volume of orange juice in glass B is 3 units. When half of this 5 unit is poured to 3 units, what is the new ratio is the question. Now pouring half of 5 unit when you're drawing bar model, dividing that 5 units into half will be difficult. So we will take an even number because you're dividing it into half, we'll make it into an even number. To do that, we'll multiply 5 is to 3 into 2. So which means 5 into 2 and 3 into 2. So basically you will have 10 units of glass A and 6 units of glass B. Now from this 10 units, half will move to glass B. So let's see how it looks. Before model will look like this. Now here this is the 5 units that they initially told, that each I have split into half. So now I have got 10 parts. Same way glass B, this is the 3 units that they have told. I have split each unit into half into 2 parts. So I have totally 6 parts. Now from this I will be removing half of glass A, which means out of 10 units half means 5 units of glass A moves to glass B. So the after model will look like this. So glass A half has moved to glass B. So now you see there is 5 is to 11. So the new ratio will be 5:11. Question number 7. There are some dogs, cats and rabbits in a pet farm. The number of dogs is 3/5 of the total number of cats and rabbits. The ratio of the number of cats to the number of rabbits is 8:7. There are 30 more dogs than rabbits. How many animals are there in the farm? Now we know a certain number of facts, that the number of dogs is 3/5 of the total number of cats and rabbits. That is fact 1. And we also know the ratio of the number of cats to rabbits is 8:7. So which means cats has 8 units and rabbits have 7 units, and dog is 3/5 of the total of cats and rabbits. Now we know total of cats and rabbits we can find by doing 8 plus 7. So 3/5 of that will be your number of dogs. Let's see how to go about. So number of cats we know is 8 units. Number of rabbits is 7 units. So total number of cats and rabbits will be 8 plus 7 equal to 15. So there are 15 units. Now 3/5 of 15 is what? Is the number of dogs. So which is 3/5 into 15 will be equal to 9 units. So basically number of dogs is 9 units. Now we can draw the bar model such that the cats are 8 units, the rabbits are 7 units and the dogs are 9 units. Now we know there are 30 more dogs than rabbits. So which means the difference between dogs and rabbits are 2 units. So 2 units is equal to 30. So 1 unit will be 30 divided by 2 is equal to 15. The question here is how many animals are there in the farm. That is, we need to find the total of all units. Okay, total of all these we need to find. So we know total number of units will be 8 plus 7 plus 9, which is equal to 24. 24 units. So 24 and 1 unit value we know is 15. So 24 into 15 will be equal to 360. So there are 360 animals in the farm. Let's look at the next question. Question number 8. The ratio of the number of cookies baked by Linus to Omar is 8:7. After Linus gave away 36 cookies, Omar had twice as many cookies as Linus. How many cookies did they bake altogether? So over here, this is a before and after model question. So before Linus gave away the cookies, they had cookies in the ratio of 8:7. So the model will look like this. Linus will have 8 units, Omar will have 7 units. Now after Linus gave away 36 cookies, Omar had twice as many cookies as Linus. Now we know in the beginning Omar has 7 units and there has been no change to the number of cookies Omar has. Omar's number of cookies remains the same. But when Linus gave away 36 cookies, Omar was 2 times more than Linus. So now this 7 unit, we will split it into half, so it makes 14. So this will help us in making double and making half of it. Okay, so after model will make Linus instead of 8 units will become 16 units. Omar will become instead of 7 units will become 14 units. Now if we see this way, Omar had twice as many cookies as Linus. So which means now Omar has 14 units. So Linus will have 7 units, which means Linus has half of what Omar has. So the remaining 9 parts is equal to 36 cookies, the number of cookies that he gave away. So now we know 9 units is 36, 1 unit will be 36 divided by 9, which is equal to 4. Total cookies will be 16 plus 14 units, which is equal to 30 units. So 30 units will be 30 into 4, which is equal to 120. So they both, Linus and Omar, baked 120 cookies altogether. Question number 9. The ratio of the number of pupils queuing at a standing broad jump station to the number of pupils queuing at a shuttle run station was 7:4. After 18 pupils at the standing broad jump station went to the shuttle run station, there was an equal number of pupils at both stations. How many pupils were queuing at both stations? So in this problem, initially there were some students standing at broad jump station and some students standing at a shuttle run station, and the ratio was 7:4. Now some students, that is 18 students standing at Broad Jump station, went to Shuttle Run station, and now there were equal number of pupils at both stations. So they are asking us to find how many pupils are queuing at both stations. Now let's look at the before model. Before, Broad Jump station had 7 units and Shuttle Run had 4 units. Now we have to keep this in mind that from this excess 3 units, half of it, okay, half from this excess 3 units are at Broad Jump station goes to Shuttle Run station. So half of this excess 3 units means it becomes 1.5 units, correct? Half of 3 is 1.5. So 1.5 of this excess unit comes to Shuttle Run. And to do this and to make it easier to understand, we will split all these units into half. All these units also into half. So basically 7 units becomes 14 units, and Shuttle Run 4 units becomes 8 units. Now from when it becomes 14 units and 8 units, here you will have an excess of 6 units. From half of 6 units means 3 units. So 3 units comes this side, and that 3 units will be equal to the 18 students that have moved. So here the after model will look like this. I have split the 7 units into half and it became 14 units. From that 14 units, 3 units have moved to Shuttle Run. So now you have 11 units each in Broad Jump, 11 units, and Shuttle Run you have 11 units. So let's see, 3 units will be equal to 18. The 3 units that moved to Shuttle Run will be equal to 18. 1 unit will be 18 divided by 3, which is equal to 6. Number of units at each station is equal to 11. The total number of units at both stations will be 12. There are 11 in each. 11 units in Broad Jump and 11 units in Shuttle Run. So 11 plus 11 is 22. And we know the value of 1 unit is 6. So the total number of pupils at both stations will be 22 into 6, which is equal to 132 pupils. So there were 132 pupils at queuing at both stations. Question number 10. There were some fiction and non-fiction books in a second-hand bookstore. The number of fiction books was 3 by 5 of the number of non-fiction books. After an equal number of fiction and non-fiction books were sold, the ratio of the number of fiction books to the number of non-fiction books left was 5:9. There were 240 books altogether at first. How many books were sold altogether? So in this question, they are telling that there are 3 units of fiction book and 5 units of non-fiction books from this fraction that they have given. Okay, the number of fiction books is 3 by 5 of the number of non-fiction books. So which means there were 3 units of fiction book and 5 units of non-fiction book, and they are saying the total number of books before, that is at this stage, the total number of books was 240 books. Then there has been a sale where equal number of fiction books and non-fiction book has been sold, and then the remaining ratio became 5:9. So let's see, and the question is, they are asking how many books were sold altogether. That is, how many books of fiction and non-fiction were sold together. So let us begin by drawing this also involves the before and after model. Let's first see the before model. So here before model we see that fiction has 3 units, non-fiction has 5 units, and the total number of books is 240. Now from this we can say 8 units is equal to, that is entire thing including fiction and non-fiction, 8 units will be equal to 240 books. 1 unit will be 240 divided by 8, which is equal to 30. So from this we can say the number of fiction books was 3 units, which is 3 into 30 is 90 books, and number of non-fiction books were 5 units, so 5 into 30 is equal to 150 books. Now we can also see the difference between fiction and non-fiction books was 150 minus 90, which is equal to 60. Okay, this step is important in this problem. Okay, because we are removing equal number of books from fiction and non-fiction books. So when that happens, since the equal number of books are being removed both from fiction and non-fiction, the difference between fiction and non-fiction will remain the same, because we are removing only equal number of books from both the sides. So the difference will remain the same. So keep this in mind. We have found the difference of fiction and non-fiction and kept it as 60 books. Now let's go to the after scenario. where after an equal number of books has been sold from both from fiction and non-fiction. Now let's look at the after model. Here we see that equal number of books has been sold from fiction and non-fiction, and the ratio has become 5:9, which means 5 units of fiction and 9 units of non-fiction. Now we know the difference between fiction and non-fiction books is 60 books, and as I said, since equal number of books are being sold from both fiction and non-fiction, the difference will continue to remain the same. So in this bar model we can see 4 units is equal to 60. So we can say the difference between fiction and non-fiction is 4 units, and that is equal to 60. So 1 unit will be 60 divided by 4 equal to 15. So after sale total number of units is equal to 14 units. 14 units will be 14 into 15 equal to 210 books. So which means 14 units is after sale you have 5 here and you have 9 here. So both together you have 14 units. Now 14 units will be 14 into 15, 210 books. Now we know after sale there is 210 books left, and we knew before sale there was 240 books. So to find the number of books sold, we'll see total books minus remaining books, which is equal to 240 minus 210 equal to 30 books. So 30 books were sold altogether. Now let's solve some put on your thinking cap questions. Let's look at question number 1. Rectangle PQRS is folded along the line PR. The ratio of the area of rectangle PQRS to the area of the new figure is 11:1. The area of the shaded part is 68 centimeter square. Find the area of the rectangle PQRS. Now over here, this is the picture that they are given. The rectangular piece of paper here is folded such that this is brought down like this. So over here you have a shaded portion. This entire new image has an area of 7 units, and this has an area of 11 units as per the question. Now we know the shaded portion here. You should keep in mind that this is a folded paper. So this portion, there is an area underneath it also, correct? Now only this area is equal to 68 centimeters square. So keep in mind that there is a similar area of triangle, say PR, and a point over here. Let's name it as O. If there is a point O here, it will be PRO. There is a triangle beneath it also, correct? When you fold the paper. Now that area is 68 centimeters square. Now the entire this new image, this new figure we know is 7 units, and this figure is 11 units. Now this unseen portion from this figure to this figure is this area that lies underneath this particular triangle, and that area is 68 centimeter square. I am repeating, when we fold this rectangular piece in this manner, when we bring this Q point downwards, there is this area PRO. Let us name this point as O. So this PRO, there is an area underlying beneath PRO with the same area as PRO, correct? The same rectangular, triangular space. Now that area is equal to 68 centimeter. So now we know this entire rectangle is 11 units and this new image is 7 units, which means the difference in this area is there is a reduction in area in this image. That area difference is basically the space lying beneath this particular triangle, the PRO triangle. Now that triangle space is also equal to PRO triangle, so that we know the shaded portion area is 68 centimeter square. So basically, if you to put it in bar model, the area of rectangle PQRS will be 11 units and area of the new figure is 7 units. Now this difference unit is your shaded area. The shaded area, that basically the area below the shaded area is the difference in these two areas between the two images. Now that the portion of the paper below the shaded area will have the same area as the one above, that is PRO, this particular shaded triangle. So that portion is 68 centimeters. So basically the difference in units, that is 4 units, will be equal to 68 centimeter square. So 1 unit will be equal to 68 divided by 4, which is equal to 17. So 11 area of rectangle PQRS we know is 11 units. So 11 units will be 11 into 17, which is equal to 187 centimeter square. So the area of rectangle PQRS is 187 centimeter square. Question number 2. Arifin had a total of 40 goats and cows in his farms. After selling 29 of them, the ratio of the number of goats sold to the number of goats left was 4:1. The ratio of the number of cows sold to the number of cows left was 3:2. What was the ratio of the number of goats left to the number of cows left? Now this problem we'll have to approach using the algebraic concept. Now, to begin with, let's note down the facts that we know. Here we know the number of units of goats sold is 4 units and the number of goats left is 1 unit. So, which means 4 plus 1, 5 units were there in total initially. Okay, same way for the cows, 3 units of cows were sold and 2 units of cows are left. So, 3 plus 2, 5 units of cows was there initially in the farm. So that becomes total units of goat will be 4 plus 1, 5 units. Total units of cow will be 3 plus 2 equal to 5 units. Both had 5 units each initially. Now, we also know about the number of animals left will be 40 goats were there initially and 29 were sold. So, 40 minus 29 will be equal to 11. Now, we can start writing the equation like this. That is, initially there were 5 units of goat plus 5 units of cow and that is equal to 40. Same way, we can say the second equation as 4 units of goat plus 3 units of cow, that is taking the factors of the number of goats and cows that were sold from both these ratios. 4 units of goat was sold and 3 units of cow was sold and that is equal to 29 and let's name them as equation 2. Now in algebra, our main concept here is to simplify these two equations in such a way that one of the factor gets cancelled out. Let us start by multiplying equation 1 by 4 and equation 2 by 5. So when we multiply equation 1 by 4 and equation 2 by 5, that is 5g plus 5c equal to 40 will multiply by 4. So it will become 5g into 4 becomes 20g, 5c into 4 becomes 20c, 40 into 4 becomes 160. Let's name it as equation 3. Same way equation 2 will multiply by 5, which is 4g plus 3c equal to 29 will multiply by 5. 4g becomes 20g, 3c becomes 15c and 29 becomes 145. Let's name it as equation 4. Now we will see that the g coefficients have become same. Now let's minus equation 3 minus equation 4. So it becomes 20g. Let's keep the left hand terms to the left and right hand terms to the right. 20g plus 20c minus 20g plus 15c equal to 160 minus 145. Next step, we'll open these brackets and bring the minus inside. So it will become 20g plus 20c minus 20g minus 15c equal to 15. So basically 20g plus 20g and minus 20g cancels out each other. Plus 20c minus 15c will be equal to 5c. 5c equal to 15. So c equal to 3. Now the next step, now we know 1 unit of cow is equal to 3. Now the next step we know the number of animals left we have to see. In that equation we will know 1 unit of goat and 2 units of cow, taking it from the ratio given. 1 unit of goat and 2 units of cow is equal to 11. That we have already seen the number of animals left. Now let's name it as equation 5. We know the value of c is equal to 3. So let's substitute the value of c as 3 in this equation. So it will become 1g plus 2 into 3 will be equal to 11. So 1g equal to 11 minus 6 which is equal to 5. So the value of 1 unit of goat is equal to 5. Now we know the question here is to find the ratio of the goats left to the number of cows left. So we know in goat there is only 1 unit of goat left, whereas in cow there are 2 units of cows left. So goat left will be g, which is equal to 5 that we just found, and cows left is 2 units of cow. We know 1 unit of cow was 3 from here earlier. Here we found out 3, the value of 1 unit of cow is 3. So cows left we have 2 units of cow, so it will become 2c equal to 6. So the ratio of the number of goats left to the number of cows left will be 5:6. Thank you friends. Hope you found this video helpful. If yes, please do like, share with your friends and subscribe for more such useful videos. Feel free to comment your doubts down below and I shall get back to you at the earliest. See you soon with another math video. Bye.